Go, ne? I should say, the last time I put on a shirt, it was a very long time, very, very long time. I think it was during my high school days. Um, I'm more of a t-shirt, jeans, and sneaker guy. Today, I'm wearing a shirt and literally trousers, because I had to come through here at Rubza's Multimedia. For a very, I don't want to say important sit down, but more of an interesting sit down. A lot is going on. Especially during your election season. There's a lot of wrestling going around. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of noise. And one actually wonders which camp, because there's a lot of camps, right? There's a lot of camps. Which camp should I go with? Where do I comment? What do I say? And then you ask yourself, if I say this, what impact is it going to have? The consequences of it. Because one thing that I know is that people tend to forget that. You and I can sit here and talk, and when we're talking, there's no one recording. There's no one recording. It's just two people under the tree having a conversation. It's not on record. But then again, you have somebody going on to social media, saying whatever that they want and putting it on record. As much as they'll come through and delete, they always say the internet there's no delete button, especially now that people can take screenshots and everything, whatever that you say, for as long as you press post, it's gone. Whether you come through and delete or not, it's gone. But a lot of noise is happening, Dominic. And I'm not going to come here and corner you and say, what do you want to say? You're not going to do that, because at the end of the day, I believe that if you're going to give, you need to take. I've realized that there's some people on social media, they like to come out and say things, but when people respond, they tend to cry. I don't understand why. I mean, if you've got the nerve to come out and say certain things about someone, and then you cry and say, you know what, no, why is this one saying this? Why this one commenting about this or this way? Yet you go out there and say certain things about someone else. But that will take care of later on during the conversation. My name is Salim Sgo. I'm here with Dominic. I've been called to come through and sit with this gentleman. Should I call you mister?
Either way, anything's okay.
Oh. All right, my name is Salim Sgo. I'm pretty much chilled to be here. Like I said earlier on, when we were walking in, Dominic, I am a t-shirt and sneaker guy, but today here I am. I'm wearing a shirt. I'm even wearing trousers. When I left home, people were asking, I'm like, hey, matter, can't a man for once, look nice?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm looking nice. Why didn't you tell me I look nice?
No, you are.
No,
you are looking extremely nice.
Why don't you tell me I look nice?
It's quite awkward for a man to compliment another man. Like it is really awkward.
No. There's nothing awkward in there. You say, my man, you look nice.
All right, my man, you look extremely nice.
My man. do you want a hug?
No.
All right, I'm sitting here with Dominic.
Yeah.
It's Dominic Nkwana, better known as Fosso. Let's quickly look into this name Fosso.
Yeah.
Where does this name come from?
Hey, you are quickly bringing memories.
Yeah.
Where do I start? Ultimately, in tertiary, when we're running for SRC president, and then during recess, come back home, and there was a guy referred to as Gift Munjere, who really loved calling himself Force because he was a force. And then I love what that particular term in
Hold on.
entailed.
I'd like you to speak into the mic.
Serious?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
Am I now audible?
very much clear.
Yeah. So obviously, when you are referent force, one would ultimately then take the responsibility of pushing mountains.
Mm.
You know, obviously, we were of disadvantaged backgrounds, and when you then push Kilimanjaro of circumstances, sometimes you have to apply force. And I guess majority of the people, including my brother Gift, might have seen the energy of how I was pushing from a tender age up to date. And ultimately, they branded my struggle force. And then now I said force, so they call me force.
Oh,
And then my establishment on the other end is called the force.
The very same establishment that's getting you whipped on social media. Hey,
Imagine.
my man. I mean,
imagine.
tell me here. I need to understand one thing.
Yeah.
Your state of mind right now. Okay, you know, there's always this thing, you know, people need to talk, and the biggest worry is that when you talk, you make your problems even worse because you're talking to Salim as a friend.
Yeah.
Salim's friend as a friend. You know how Salim is going to say your problems to his friend is not how his friend is going to tell their friend going forward. You know,
Yeah.
I need to understand your state of mind right now. Are you okay?
No. What defines my okayness goes beyond what people say. You know, I am from the pot that dictates perceptions. You know, if you are a product of what people say, you are bound to get it wrong. If you become a product of gossip, you are bound to become a gossiper. You know, so propaganda missionaries can be there, can exist, but ultimately, I can tell you now that my state of mind is pillared by what goes beyond talks. You know, it is pillared by tangible output of revolutionaries that I look up to, you know, stalwarts. And those are the people that really make me to remain sharp, focused, and deal with problems with precision.
So you're saying,
So yeah,
you're sleeping perfectly fine.
perfectly fine, with no heart attack. You know, if there is only one thing that can diffuse my appetite of eating, is probably flu. And seeing a young person really struggling to get anything right, you know. But gossip and lies, really, I don't think they've got the ability to get into thick skin, you know. Yeah,
The thick skin you have,
yeah,
thick skull you have,
yeah.
and most importantly, you're a strong man. That's what you say. Ladies, he's about to answer now. He's saying he's a strong man. Are you saying that?
No. That can't only be. It can never be the only trait that defines my strongness. You know, I'll be selling myself cheap. I mean, there has to be more in the package of strongness. You know, your ability to at least navigate, your ability to at least diffuse situations, and most importantly, your ability to find ways of saying, no, hey, this one is propaganda, bafowethu. And if we really play in this field of propaganda, we will eat agents of change. We will eat those who stand firm for changing people's life with lies. And all we're saying is that's an unfair ball game altogether. It's like when a person really is beating you under the belt. Kamaka.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree about politics is a game, right?
Yeah.
I've seen politicians going to an extent of killing each other. So if we have people killing each other, I guess propaganda and lies are just it's a very to me I view it as understand. Now I really need to understand and ask you this question. As you sit and go through all of this, watching people dancing, should I say on your head? Because at some point I feel like that is exactly what it is, you know? I mean, there's this disrespect, there's views, there's I don't know if you
maybe
get
just to interject,
yeah.
My brother, is it not because we haven't really identified programs that we can unite behind as a community? And maybe to add on that, there are minimal things to really discuss if you haven't identified objectives on hand, and ultimately what is it that you can achieve as a community holistically. So you see, people might be having views towards something that they don't understand. And perhaps I should take this opportunity, Sgo, to indicate that we are product, or are the products of what we intend to see happening. You know, there is always people who theorize this revolution and think like you can just ultimately wake up and see change. You can wake up and see young people's issues being resolved. And there is the other group that really becomes part and parcel of a defined program that intend to really bring that change we have always been preaching.
But don't you think people are warranted to actually come out and say, you know what, the change, like you're saying, some people want change to happen in a very short space of time. What, in your view, would you say is enough time, is short time? Because I believe that time is really moving, Dominic. You know, time is moving. I'm not going to say the 3+ years of democracy or that the ANC had to I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say the ANC hasn't done things that I'll say, you know what, no, they have done a lot of things. They have. But now we need to sit and be sober now and say, you know what, people are hungry. People are unemployed. You know, those two things, unemployment and hunger, I believe those are the two things that people take to their bed at night. They wake up to, you know, there's pressures that they're facing every day. I mean, everyone would like to see themselves out of the storm that they're in as soon as possible. You know, once a storm starts, you know, you don't want to say, you know what, you know, even if it takes 10 hours or 10 years, you know, I will weather it. You know, we're talking about someone who has a child, you know, you know, they don't want excuses. They want food. Now, what is a short time? What is ample time? What is time that you feel, or you know what, it's enough for us to actually bring in the change that people are crying for?
Right. Yeah, that is a very strategic question. I'll give that to you. You see, Sgo, the moment you become a community that really can't segment responsibilities towards a common goal, you become a lost community. So if we discuss unemployment as an immediate challenge that it is, and I fully agree, we then simultaneously need to dissect it into, if we are looking towards having a learned community, so that we can then really have people who can be absorbed per their skills, you should then fix your schools. You can't then have a problem at Mutere B there at 112 of having a collapsed bridge, and ultimately when it rains, kids can't go to school. You can't then have a bursary scheme that can't account for its graduate. So right when you have matriculants, right, and you incubate them into the bursary system, you should then be able to account for their whereabouts for years to come. And then you should then be able to have a program that will intensify and ultimately absorb them into the ecosystem of the economy, right? That is one. Okay. But secondly, we are a town that is blessed beyond measure, but a town that is not really adequately organized. You have got the biggest land pot in SADC. It's called Border Post. And then within our jurisdiction, which is almost 12 kilometers away from the border, you have got many trucks passing every day, going to truck stops that you really can't account for as a community. So that then tells you need bylaws that will regulate those truck stops with the intention of having a community that will be incubated towards the establishment of industries. Who material pitchwangani, as in when those trucks get punctured. Who regulates those car washes in those truck stops? If you can wash one truck 400, and ultimately you don't have a system in place that will ensure SMME beneficiation with the intention of dealing with the very same unemployment, right? That's one. But secondly, you have got people who are working towards resolving issues like human settlement. People are not working, yes, but there are those who are working. And then right when they are working, they don't have land to build houses. And ultimately, this then gives birth to the problem of backrooms. So I'm saying this issue of unemployment is very much holistic, but we should be a community that then really thinks beyond the box of if there is employment, then what? Are we ultimately going to have a community that then fights the abuse of drugs united? Are we ultimately going to be a community that can't have a young person who have performed well in matric and ultimately fails to access the school of education? Like even when there are bursary schemes, registration is still needed. Simple things like laptops. So we are dissecting this animal called unemployment. You have got Venetia Mine now, my brother, which is saying we are pausing operation for 2 years. Repercussions of that action is what should unite the community of MUSINA. Way more than the gossips that you were really talking about. So if there is something that gives me sleepless nights, is to imagine a parent who is at Venetia Mine right now, whose job is going to be paused because of circumstances that goes beyond her or his pay grade. You are ultimately going to stay at home with no any other plan. 3.5 is not up in place. You are going to have children changing schools because their parents can't afford to pay for the school fund. You are going to have people's names being blacklisted because they can't be able to pay for their bonds, they can't be able to pay for their cars. You are ultimately going to have a garage tenant whose job will ultimately be at the risk precisely because there wouldn't be anyone to afford the car to can ultimately take you to the garage. You are going to have a town that is going to have marriages that are trembling because of financial crisis that the Venetia Mine is bringing. you are ultimately going to have those SMMEs that the mine have assisted are going to then ultimately feed into the factor of unemployment you're talking about. So don't you think it is the right time for MUSINA as a community to consolidate, to focus, and really fight these genuine issues you are bringing on the table?
You know, I'm a very emotional person, you know,
Yeah.
and as you are talking about the possible problems that might just happen if the pause, you know, goes ahead, and we pray it never happens, you know. I didn't actually look at it in that way that you just said, but most importantly, you know, yeah, I'm trying to imagine what will happen if this really happens. But to all the employees of Venetia Mine, you know, you're not alone in this, you know. You know, one thing that I don't want to say that I hate about my town or my hometown. You know, it's a cancer, you know. How people like celebrating. I saw people celebrating that this whole thing is happening. I'm like, what
is it?
Bruh, do you understand that one salary can take care of more than 20 people?
All right, maybe when you are still there, MUSINA is a product of mining activity.
Yeah, yeah.
You see, I am from a place called Haba.
Mm.
There is a place called Campbell.
Mm.
There is a place called Scomplas.
Mm.
Those are tangible offsprings of mining activities.
Mm.
And those poverty-oriented families that you see currently as things stand, right, were once there when MD Copper Mine was still there. And exactly what is happening is what will happen if Venetia is to close. So we can't then behave in a community that celebrates over the posing of Venetia Mine, right? So there are social labor plans which they have been executing for a very long time. They are going to pause as well. There are bursary schemes that they've been giving out to our community. They are going to pause as well. So you are going to then have a town with a limited number of opportunities, having a population which is unemployed, fighting towards the very same limited opportunities that are there. So I'm saying it can't be business as usual. We need to find ways to mitigate this possibility of the mine posing with everything we have. And at least the mine should take not only their employees, but the community as well. They should take us on board. Some of our streets, our roads, there's a project that they're busy with, right? That is okay. But then there is a specific category in the mining charter where the social labor plan emanates from. That talks to the issue of bursary beneficiation. Are we a community that can account for Venetia Mine beneficiaries of bursary? And we really can say there is an engineer here who went to school and is located there by the mine, and when the mine poses, they will ultimately be able to open a company. And if that's the case, then I will then say, where is the bursary committee? And if it's there, why is it then not known by our community at large? So that, because we've got majority of brilliant young people who are really settling for less because of circumstances. And when I say circumstances, I'm talking about a situation where you'll get a bursary of 30,000 when your cost really is 80,000.
Over there, yeah.
And then what do you do? But then let us take it a step further. Salim, you asked about if there is a business establishment that we can point and say, here Venetia Mine intervened? I wouldn't say there is. Because if there was, MUSINA by now should have been blessed with an incubation center where our SMMEs will then be incubated into becoming true industrialists that they are meant to be. You understand? So you have got the existence of MMSEZ in MUSINA, right?
Yeah.
Our responsibility, on my other cap, obviously, is to service the land, build firms for either agro processing or any other thing that you might want to do, right? So are we having the mind that is simultaneously working with government towards ensuring that at least we have got SMMEs located within MMSEZ with an intention of really becoming proper business people at the end of the day? There is nothing, because at this level we can't be discussing tenders. So there is Lima that they have, right? Which is obviously focusing in the assisting of farmers. Do you know that those farmers, when they get vouchers to ultimately go buy their seeds, they are given vouchers that as in when they go to farm their tomatoes, the seed that you are expected to buy is that of Tiger brand. And Tiger brand ultimately becomes your consumer. So I'm selling for you, but you are selling for me before I sell for you. And then who is fooling who, really?
It's a big question.
We need to industrialize MUSINA. We need to conscientize our people to think beyond what they are forced to see.
I hear you, and I think I'm going to attack you on this one. I hear you talking about the SME. Is it SMME?
SMME.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it?
Or MUSINA Makaros Pelakono.
Yes. The M. Is it?
MMSEZ.
Yeah, that abbreviation. Yeah. I feel like there's not much education with regards to that to the people around town, because the way that you're putting it, it's very much informative, but I feel like those things should be standard. I can call someone right now and say, tell me about the MME.
MMSEZ.
Hey, why am I struggling to? I'm struggling to put out this abbreviation. But anyway, okay. I feel, or people are not being I can call someone just like me. I know there is that. I know that's happening. All I know is that there's this whole special zone, whatever that's coming. But I'll tell you one thing: I have no knowledge of exactly what is it. So I feel you should look into it. Try and put out. I don't know. So educate the people with regards to this whole thing, because people in their head, it's jobs. That's one thing that I know. But as to the gist of it, as to exactly what is this thing about, I need someone to sit me down and tell me about it.
I will be brief in helping you to understand. For somebody seated out there, you firstly and foremost need to understand the animal called MUSINA as a town. In that way, you can then be able to swiftly understand the existence of MMSEZ. So MUSINA on its own is a special town. And we have tried to partially touch on what makes it special. We are just in the corridor towards the market in the whole of SADC. So when you have got the market coming from SADC, ultimately going to as far as Gauteng to buy, say for argument's sake, tissues for what's home. Right when you can make those firms in MUSINA to ultimately buy, say, process anything. Right when we can do it here in MUSINA. So now, The president then declared MUSINA a special economic zone with other 10 towns. And I hear now there is the other one called Vhadau, special economic zone. So now, MMSEZ is not a short-term oriented government project. It is a project that pushes the very same unemployment that you're talking about away. How do we put it? We ensure that there is a space, right? Very much serviced, proper road, proper infrastructure for investors to locate within that particular space. They can be processing gloves. They can be
any other
thing. They can be doing variety of things.
Right.
But ultimately, job creation becomes the order of the day. That is why it becomes a thorny issue to me when we have got projects that are being stopped because people don't understand what they stand for. You understand? So when I resigned from the municipality and ultimately joined MMSEZ, I was charged with the responsibility of ensuring that, that there is SMME beneficiation, that people are really finding expression in as far as employment opportunities are concerned. And you would understand that in that project, really, there were a variety of challenges that formed part and parcel of delays, ranging from EIA delays that we have encountered. But well and good, I'm really not at work. And I don't want to make this about
no. It's good. I mean, all I was saying is,
but at least would you say you partially at least understand?
Now I do, but I feel.
And we have got two sides, eh? We've got the northern side, which is right here at Altonville, around 3.8 hectares. We have got the other side, southern side, that side of Makad. So it's around 8,000 hectares. Okay. So the combination of two sides really becomes what we refer to as MMSEZ. Okay. You understand? So that animal called MMSEZ, when we stand firm and say we want really our people to be employed, then you want to make nepotism the order of the day, and you make me an enemy. So that's why we say bring it on. You understand? So we are employed to be biased towards our people. So it is never illegal for me to stand firm and defend the interests of our people against any threat. You understand? So there is no one under the sun that can really come and say our people shouldn't be empowered. If we have got companies of young people that qualifies to do variety of projects that will be advertised there at MMSEZ, they are bound to do that. They are bound to be assisted without anyone who will come behind their back and say, Mzala, give me 5,000 because there is this that you got. So when we begin to fight that cancer of supporting SMMEs and you ultimately expect something from them because the process you represent assisted them, the moment we begin to fight that aggressive is then that we realize, no, hey, we are making too many enemies.
Yeah, it's true.
You understand?
I feel it.
So we rather have enemies than to have a community that will be possessed with SMMEs that will be taken advantage of, that will have job opportunities that are polluted by nepotism, and we really can't agree, unfortunately.
All right. I'm of the belief that it's right. I'm of the belief that as we are talking now, I very much get a bit excited that this can't be just a once-off thing. This conversation is bound to have a second episode, third episode. I don't know, up until the day that you feel you're done. But there's a lot that I feel we need to talk about, and that you just answered now, I feel we'll talk about later on. But Of course, there's the elephant in the room. There's the elephant in the room. Dominic for mayor, Dominic for mayor, Dominic for. Wait, I then I asked myself, Dominic for mayor. Wait, what are the processes for one to actually be elected? To stand in for a mayoral candidacy. You've been in, a comrade for as long as I can remember. I've always known you. The first time I actually knew that this is Dominic is the first, I knew you were a comrade. Still in high school. But I need to understand. The process. One person that is pretty much clueless when it comes to politics is me. I'm and grab here and there, but I need to know the process of one to actually become a mayor. Right? Explain it to me like you're explaining to a baby. From the beginning, like for you to actually find yourself being a mayor. What really has to happen?
Hey, I didn't really know that was the elephant in the room.
It is. It's not the elephant between me and you. It is now because on social media, it's you.
Yeah.
Wherever I see your face or your picture, I see the word mayor. Word mayor.
No. Look,
I need to understand. How do you become a mayor? I've never seen you as a PR, maybe. I've never seen you as a councillor. Njani, guys.
Yeah. So we are really never product of positions, some of us.
Okay.
Because we prescribe in the philosophy of, a leader can never be made by positions.
No, Dominic?
And I'm coming there.
All right, okay.
A position should then be made by your traits as a leader. So let's quickly come back and discuss the process which will ultimately have you as MUSINA having a mayor. So we are governed by what we call party proportional politics, right? So you would really have the ANC. Obviously, I am a member of the ANC in good standing, right? Ultimately contesting election, right? So meaning that as to who becomes the mayor, that is the responsibility of the African National Congress, together with its internal processes. So I had, as in when I was going through those guidelines as to what qualifies the mayor, and I saw that they were talking metric and degrees, and ultimately, just to mention the few.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. When you were going through the guidelines, do you
our internal party guidelines?
But those internal party guidelines.
Yeah.
Are you ticking all the?
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm solid. Very much solid. No, I'm okay. So listen. So the ANC Youth League, right, obviously has a view, right? So we embraced their view, right? So we took part in the process, but really we understand the ANC better than we understand individuals. So we even respect processes of the ANC, and we'll leave that process of mayorship to the ANC. All we can ask to everyone who is really going to be fortunate enough to watch this episode is for them to give the African National Congress a chance and vote them on the 4th of November. You know why? Because the ANC has really done a lot, And if we then start to individualize and relegate it to petty politics, we would have failed the organization. So we are further asking them to begin to understand what the ANC stands for than individuals. So we understand the ANC better than you understand Salim Sgo. And then in that way, you will fail to become a gossip.
Unfortunately, politics don't have a referee. politics don't have written rules. Well,
we do have written rules.
There might just be, but you guys can play dead.
You can't respect rules that you have never read, particularly if you still can't read.
Oh.
So we are saying.
Oh, so you're throwing.
No, I'm just saying.
I hope you got it. Whoever that keeps talking out there, it's a good one. I like how you respond to this whole thing. You know, you cannot talk about things that you don't know.
People don't give themselves time to read and understand what they would have read. You know why majority of our people continuously makes this beautiful animal the enemy of our people? Because they fail to tell them that the ANC exists for the people. The ANC was formed for the people. The ANC was formed by people lovers. You know, pastors and leaders who formed the ANC had the interest of the people at heart. It wasn't really formed by a majority of people who really thought of self-enrichment. When you are selfish, you can't exist in the ANC. When you think for your cronies, you can't really find expression in the ANC. But, you know why?
But Dominic,
we are renewing the ANC.
But Dominic, the very same thing that you're talking about is existing within the political party.
That is why
that's a topic for another day. Because right now,
I'm tempted to say that is why we are up in arms to save the ANC from those kind of shenanigans.
Well, I'm not going to sit here and say nothing is not being done. You know, I mean, we've got the Matlaga Commission, we've got the hogs knocking in on municipalities' doors around the country. It's happening. You guys, there is cleaning happening.
And then when it happens, you step aside. You know, the ANC is very much clear. It can't be right that often when we associate the ANC to corruption, we say the ANC is doing nothing about it. Once you are charged, Sgo,
you need to step
aside. You step aside.
Yeah, it's true. Once, and clearly so, once you are charged by the court of law, right? Not when there's allegations. Because people tend to confuse this thing. Allegations can come up and then they say, why is this person not stepping aside? You only step aside when you are criminally charged, right? That's the law, not through allegations. If allegations are allegations, but so Dominic, let's rather move quickly here. You said you tick all the boxes from the guidelines. I've got a question. Do you have wishes?
Wishes
of being a mayor one day? Not this year. No. One day.
No. You see, caps, Sgo, now that we're concluding.
Dominic, right? Yes or no?
No. I will come there. Obviously, if the ANC deploys me, I will fail my generation and community.
Okay. Do you have wishes? One day, not this election year.
We are going to elections. Young people have got a position.
Dominic,
Salim,
do you have wishes of becoming a mayor one day?
No, but then I'm answering and you're interjecting.
Okay, fine. I'm not interjecting. I'm not interjecting. I'm asking you to give me an answer.
I want to give you an answer in less than 30 seconds. In less than 30 seconds. Right?
And trust me, if I feel that the answer is not what I want, Dominic, because I want a yes or a no.
I will arrive there.
Okay.
Our people want beyond a mayor.
Okay.
Our people are fatherless. Our people are motherless. Our people don't want leaders who are made by positions. They want leaders. So given the opportunity, if the ANC
your 30
wins,
seconds is up.
I become a councillor, and the ANC say we're not Swaram Chini or the mayor, I will become a mayor. So whether it's a wish or not, it's not here, neither is it there. It is the discretion of the ANC. We want to go to councils. The
ANC can never take a donkey to the river and force it to drink.
No. But
in this case,
at the very same breath, it can't be the donkeys who really force the ANC to go to the water. We didn't join the ANC for positions.
Okay, you didn't. I get that. Yeah. And like I said, there's the elephant in the room. So the elephant in the room is you and being a mayor. Dominic, do you feel you answered me properly.
You interjected when I was giving a proper answer. Emuna, people want water. People want human settlement.
You are still not answering.
I am answering you.
You are not answering a question that I just asked now. Do you feel you answered my question?
And if the ANC really looks at my credentials and say you deserve to be a mayor, well and good. It's deployment.
You are a good politician. I must give it to you.
But it can't be me talking for myself. Yes, structures and branches.
Dominic, people are literally, but because of you, Dominic.
It shouldn't be that.
It's fine. It shouldn't be that. But okay, fine. I want you to give me a simple yes or no.
No.
Shh. Dominic.
Yeah.
I didn't say this, yeah? I didn't say tomorrow. I didn't say yesterday. The operative word is wish.
I don't wish. I'm a young person who is precise. No. I can never be a product of wishes.
Me interjecting.
No, but I can never be a product of wishes. I wished that my mother bought me All-Star when she couldn't buy me. But we can't gamble our people's lives by wishes.
Okay.
So if the ANC deploys me, well and good, they deploy me. But we are going in council to ultimately change and have a paradigm shift towards greener pastures. Our community needs change.
Dominic, we are not going to leave here up until you answer me, Dominic.
No, but I answered you.
No,
4 times now I'm answering you.
It's
even the producer here, Rubza, can attest to this. I have been answering this gentleman.
Okay, Dominic, are you hungry?
For now, I'm fine. I will defer the hunger. I'm fasting. So that people stop.
Dominic, are you feeling cold?
No, I'm not.
You see. That's what I want. You just said no, you're not. Dominic, do you have wishes of one day seeing yourself wearing the chain? Yes or no? Dominic, I swear, if you don't answer me yes or no, I don't think I'm going to come here for the second episode.
No, but
no,
even in class, when there is a multi-choice on Kushisha, you choose the answer. Give us a chance on the 4th of November, and the ANC will decide. The ANC will decide who they deploy as a mayor.
I'll give it to you on the basis of you not trying to push yourself for it, but it's fine. You know? But I know the answer is yes.
All right. Well and good.
That's a yes, right?
No, I never said yes. No. Don't put words on my mouth.
All right.
Don't put words on my mouth.
It's Rubza Multimedia. Been a beautiful time, children.
Yeah.
And hoping the producer will tell us if he wants us back for the second one.
Yeah.
Well, I still have a lot of questions, but given the time that we have and given, but you need to leave a little bit, something to say to crave for more.
And I thought you would have asked already. These people say you're corrupt. How did you become really successful at this age? That deserves an episode, right? Let's tell you how I built my business.
Like I'm saying, it's a conversation. It's a conversation. Today is the start, and after this airs, the producer will tell us.
You'll tell us, right?
Look, I'm not wearing any gloves. I'm gonna come with hard-hitting questions. I'm following everything that's happening, Dominic.
Yeah.
Don't get it wrong. I'm following everything that's happening.
Yeah.
I'm seeing everything that's happening,
Yeah.
and trust me, everything that is being said, everything that has been thrown at you,
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab a few and come and throw and
It's okay.
and have you answer for yourself.
It's okay.
But one thing
And
that
I know you're capable. But are you for Argentina or Spain today? For the first time, let me ask you a question.
hey, I mean, South Africa got knocked out about 3 weeks ago.
So you're fine.
I
see.
all I want.
He is the biggest politician.
I learned from the best.
You can't really.
I learned from the best.
You're failing to give me a straight answer.
I learned from the best.
All
But
right.
okay, let me give you a straight. And I don't see Spain beating Argentina. Honestly, I don't.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for chilling with us. My name is Salim Sgo, and we're sitting here with Dominic. Beyond Perceptions, as exactly what we are here for. Dominic, you need to follow and like Rubza Multimedia, Subscribe here, follow on Facebook, Rubza Multimedia, TikTok, Rubza Multimedia. And I understand there's also a WhatsApp channel, right? Yeah, Rubza Multimedia, follow those things. That's where you're going to get all the entertaining information. No, it's not information. Dominic, help me out, please.
Should I give you a proper vocab? That is where you will. What is it? No. Follow Rubza Multimedia.
Yeah.
And obviously that is where you get updated.
Yeah.
With a fair share of facts, not opinion and gossip. Thank you.
You hate gossip, ne?
I
hate gossip.
Not necessarily. I feel like really gossip is gossip. You understand? we should treat it as such. You understand? Gossip is gossip. I don't hate the gossiper. I hate the gossip. Emanating from lies. Yeah, because those.
So you don't hate the gossiper. You hate the gossip.
Yeah, because it emanates from lies. Pure jealous.
Let's leave, brother.
Let's leave, brother.
Bye.
Well and good. Sure.